exactly makes our own kind of tawheed different from their own kind. And it underscores the importance of understanding very, very well that without clarifying what makes our tawheed different from the kind of tawheed they also make claim to, a Muslim is likely to fall into their own kind of misguidance, while also thinking that he is upon tawheed. So, we would say, when the scholars of the Sunnah use the word tawheed, they refer to something which has certain elements, the absence of which makes the tawheed either incomplete or non-existent. Before I go into that, I want to comment the choice of this topic in particular because the only people who see the need to emphasize and explain tawheed as the basis of da'wah are the people who have been especially blessed by Allah to see beyond just gathering people under the banner of Islam, regardless of the differences in their creeds, which some people have made the basis of da'wah. Such people would not readily choose a topic like this for discussion because, one, it would expose their own deviancy at some level, and secondly, they think a topic like this is likely to be divisive. It is not likely to bring together Muslims, and they have always taken as a means of da'wah for the people together, regardless of the differences in their creeds, gathering them together first, and then, as they claim, correcting their creed later, which never happens anyway, because he will be able to correct anyone's creed ought to be upon the correct creed himself. So it takes one especially blessed by Allah to realize that da'wah must start where Allah and His Messenger desire that da'wah start, and that is calling to His oneness, as explained to us by the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ibadallah, when the scholars of Tawheed say at-Tawheed, they mean worshiping Allah, they mean knowing Allah as He deserves to be known, knowing Allah as He truly is, knowing Allah as He revealed to His prophets and messengers to reveal Himself to mankind, as opposed to knowing Allah according to human imagination, opposed to knowing Allah according to human conjecture. When you mention the name of anything, say, for example, if I say a motor car, any one of us here can form an image of a motor car in his mind because he has had a previous experience of what a motor car is. Our experiences may differ, but each person has an image of a motor car in his mind. But when we say Allah, the scholars say whatever image forms in your mind is certainly not Allah. Why? Allah has never been seen by any human before, and we have no means of encompassing Him with our knowledge. So whatever He has given us of intellect is too weak and insufficient to encompass Him, such as to make whatever image you form of Him in your mind to be correct. In other words, we have no means of knowing Him except that He revealed Himself to us. Unlike other things which we learn about with experience, Allah we can only know when he reveals himself. And this he did by sending down revelation, sending prophets and messengers to explain to you how he is and how he is not. So when the scholars of Tawheed say At-Tawheed, they mean knowing Allah as he really is, as he deserves to be known, and acknowledging that he and he alone deserves to be worshipped. Now let me make a distinction between knowing Allah, the way I just said, and the way the Zoroastrians and the Mayus knew Allah. They knew him primarily as the sustainer of the universe, which is virtually common to all mankind, with only a few exceptions of people who deny his existence. But virtually the entire mankind acknowledge that there is a sustainer for the universe. The one who created it and sustains it, the Muslims refer to as Allah. But the scholars say recognizing the existence of the creator and sustainer of the universe in itself is not the totality of Tawheed. It only forms one of the three aspects of Tawheed. Now, the importance of emphasizing the details that make Muslim Tawheed different from the Tawheed claimed by the Zoroastrians, the Christians, and even the pagans is that they recognize Allah as the creator and sustainer of the universe, Rabbul Alameen, but differ in the details of how he is and how he is not. Allah the Almighty has especially blessed Muslims to go beyond the first aspect of Tawheed, which is recognizing that there exists a creator and sustainer for the universe. The scholars call this Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, the acknowledgement that there is a creator and sustainer for the universe. But the one, they say this kind of Tawheed doesn't make anyone an inmate of Al-Jannah. It doesn't guarantee paradise for anyone. Because the way you recognize it is the way the Christian and the Jew also recognize that there is a creator and sustainer for the universe. Even the pagans recognize that there is a sustainer and there is a creator. What marks a difference is the two other aspects of Tawheed that follow this first aspect. So the second aspect of Tawheed is Tawheed in recognizing that Allah has names unique to Him, chosen by Him for Himself, and He has attributes that describe Him to His creation, only revealed to us through His revelation. So, Tawheed in the aspect of the names and attributes of Allah, which forms the second aspect of Tawheed, is called Tawheed al-Asma wa Sifat. A lot of people who are born into Islam and who automatically have Tawheed al-Rububiyyah fall below expectation in this second aspect of Tawheed, Tawheed al-Asma wa Sifat. And this is why I intend to delve a little on this aspect. One of the things we must recognize is this: if we cannot conceptualize Him correctly without Him revealing Himself to us, then we cannot name Him correctly. It's logical. He is not like the child of any one of us that we may choose to name whatever we please. So the scholars say His names and his attributes are tawqifiyya. We only learn his names and attributes through revelation. His names being tawqifiyya means that he has names he calls himself by which we must refer to him. They are not subject to the intelligence of anyone who, upon mastery of Arabic, can choose to derive them from any source. So they say, where Allah has not used a particular word for himself as a name, it is from the ilhad in asma'illah. It is transgression in the name of Allah for any person to name him by any name which cannot be traced to the Quran or the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when I say names, we mean proper nouns used to refer to Allah, which the scholars say have two implications. Every name of Allah is an alam. It's a proper noun referring to al-Dhat al-Muqaddasa, referring to Allah. But beyond just being a proper noun, every name of Allah has a meaning. There is no name of Allah that does not have a meaning, intrinsic. That meaning is what the scholars say is the attribute that is inherent in the name. So every name used for Allah serves two purposes. One, it is used as a proper noun to refer to the Supreme Being. Two, in its meaning, we can derive one of the attributes of Allah represented by that name. When we say Ar-Rahman, for example, Ar-Rahman is the name of Allah, and in the meaning of Ar-Rahman, the merciful, we understand the attribute of mercy. So they say, essentially, every name of Allah refers to the essence of Allah, and at the same time contains in its meaning an attribute of Allah. The names of Allah are of two types. Names that we derive directly from the Quran, or those that we derive from the Sunnah of the Messenger. There is no third type. So if we refer to the sources of knowing the name of Allah, we say either the Quran or the Sunnah. But we cannot derive them from the actions that are ascribed to Allah. To make this clear, Allah the Almighty refers to himself as Allah, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus, As-Salam, Al-Mu'min, to the end. All these that are used as proper nouns are, without questioning, names established for Allah. It is from the ilhad, from transgressing in the name of Allah, to pick a verb or an adjective of Allah and seek to derive the name of Allah from that verb or adjective. Allah, for example, refers to himself as يَبْسُطُ الرِّزْقَ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ. He provides wealth, sustenance for whoever he pleases. If he provides, basara yabsutu, al-bast, the masdar, which is an attribute we derive from the verb, may lead some people, and it has actually led a lot of people to think that they can create an ismu fa'il, a noun for the one who does the action, from basara yabsutu. So they say al-basit should be one of the names of Allah. The same way they say sabara yasbiru. If sabara is a verb, And yasburu is an action done by Allah. Then sabur, the one who is given to patience, must be a name of Allah. And based on this thinking, they describe their sons as Abdul Sabur, Abdul Basit, Abdul Rashid, creating names for Allah from his actions. The scholars say no. It is the name of Allah that has inherent in it the attribute of Allah and the action that Allah embarks upon. But we cannot derive his name from his attributes or from his actions. So it is one way, it cannot be the other way. So they say, Babul Asma Adiyat min Babi Sifat, or Babu Sifat Adiyat min Babi Af'al. That names must strictly be taken from the Quran or the Sunnah directly. Not so. Yes, that. So his names must be taken directly from the Quran or the Sunnah. We cannot derive them. Similarly, his attributes, which we say can be derived from his name, anytime a name is established for him, the meaning of that name would mean an attribute of Allah. His attributes we can derive from his names, but we cannot derive his names from his attributes. These attributes, the Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah have a way of interacting with them. The scholars of the Sunnah say, when any attribute is established for Allah, it is established for him, means that we have come across it from the text, then we must affirm that attribute for him without ta'til, without negation. Negation came about when some people sought to purify the name of Allah, and they thought that they could do so without recourse to the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they thought, when any name or attribute is affirmed for Allah, and humans also exhibit an aspect of that attribute, then the peak of purification of the name of Allah is to say Allah does not have those attributes, because ascribing attributes to him, which humans also have, would be a way of drawing comparison between Allah and his creation. This is the mistake that the Jahmiyyah fell into. So they felt guilty of at-ta'til, denying the attributes of Allah. This we must never do. Once a name is established for Allah, or an attribute is established for Allah, they say we must acknowledge its surface meaning, unless certain texts lead us to think that it has any other meaning apart from what its surface is supposed to mean to us. The attributes of Allah must also be established without ta'wil, without falsification, seeking to interpret them in a manner that takes the essence of the attribute out of it. Some of the people we just talked about, the people of deviation, people of deviancy, they, in an attempt to purify the name of Allah and his attributes, say, for example, when Allah refers to a hand, it cannot literally be translated to mean hand. It must be interpreted as al-quwwa, the power, the might of Allah. These the scholars call tahrif or ta'wil sayya, bad interpretation. So we must not deny, we must not falsify. Neither are we permitted to do takyif, to explain the detail of how an attribute is established for Allah beyond what revelation has given us. So when we establish for Him a particular attribute, it is not for us to go further to explain how He exhibits that attribute. The details, which are not revealed to us, we must not seek to do. So it is sufficient for us to say, yes, who is Samir, He hears. Humans also hear, but Allah's hearing is not like the hearing of humans. It is such hearing as befits His Majesty. They say as well, we must not do tamthil. Just as we must not describe the details, we must not liken Him in His exhibition of these attributes to any of His creation. When we affirm the attributes of Allah in the manner that the scholars of the Deen, the scholars of the Sunnah have established them for us, we'll understand that the attributes of Allah that are being referred to and the names of Allah are not known in totality to mankind. The Prophet delivered the message. He never told us exactly how many the names or attributes of Allah are. So the scholars say Allah revealed names and attributes which He chose to reveal, and kept to Himself names and attributes as He deemed fit. In a clear text, the Prophet said, while making the supplication, I seek so and so by all names that you have revealed. بكل اسم هو لك أنزلته في كتاب أو علمته أحدا من خلقك أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك. So, some have argued that if this refers to the names of Allah, how can we say the attributes of Allah are equally not countable? We say because every name comes with a different attribute. Every name of Allah, Allah does not have any name that is meaningless, that is only a proper noun and does not have a meaning. Even the word Allah has its own meaning. And they say since every name comes with an attribute and we don't know the extent of His names, it follows logically that we don't know the extent of His attributes. So we can only say we know as many of names and attributes of Allah as He has chosen to reveal to us through Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, you should understand that His attributes are only as they have been conveyed to us from the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We need to know one or two things regarding those attributes. Some of them are described as attributes to do with the essence of Allah. Sifat, Dhatiyya. They describe the essence of Allah the Almighty. And they have always been the same. They have always been of the superlative quality. So Allah does not change His attributes. He does not go from being good to being better. Allah has always been the best of everything He was. So they say anytime we think of the attributes of Allah, we must always think of them in superlative terms. So Allah doesn't change. All attributes that describe His essence have always been like that. They have nothing to do with ᴬᵗ-ᵀᵃᵃฑ์, the wish of Allah Himself to change, or any external factor causing them to change. The only attributes that the scholars say are subject to the wish of Allah. His ᴬᵗ-ᵀᵃᵃ are attributes that have to do with his deeds. Allah has always been knowledgeable. So when we describe him as alimul ghaybi wa shahada, al-ilm, knowledge has always been with Allah, and it is in the superlative form. But when we describe Allah as one who comes down, as in the hadith, ينزل ربنا في كل ليلة, that our Lord comes down every night, إلى السماء الدنيا, that he comes down to the heaven of the world every night. We derive the adjective of coming down and nuzul from that action of yanzil. This action of coming down, he does according to when he desires it. So he chooses to do the action of coming down every night when it is the last 1/3 of the night. So they say attributes of this nature are sifat al-af'al. They are attributes that describe his deeds. They are connected with his ᴬᵗ-ᵀᵃᵃ. He does those things when he chooses, and he withholds from them when he chooses. It is the same thing with attributes like laughing, being angry, punishing, and the rest of them. So the attributes are described as either ذاتية, attributes to do with his essence, which are always as they have always been, or attributes to do with his actions, which are connected with his ᴬᵗ-ᵃᵃ, connected with his desire to do or not to do at any particular time. Now, a lot of the people who fell into heresy in the ummah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam fell into heresy under the attributes of Allah, under Tawheed al-Asma wa Sifat, under the names and attributes of Allah. It is true that some of them fell into some heresy, fell into some of them fell into heresy under Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. For example, the Messenger of Allah describing the Qadariyya, describing the Qadariyya, people who have deviancy under predestination, like those who do not recognize predestination. The Prophet referred to them as ᴬᵗ-ᵀᵃᵃᵃ. He said they are the Zoroastrians of this ummah. They fell into their own heresy under Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, because the Zoroastrians believe that Allah the Almighty is not the sole creator, but that there is another creator for evil, just as Allah is the creator for good. When a person says he does not recognize predestination, he has unknowingly said that besides Allah, there is another creator. He is suggesting that Allah created mankind, then humans are the creators of their own deeds. This is why the Prophet likened those in his ummah who do not recognize predestination to the ᴬᵗ, that they are also suggesting that there is another creator for the deeds of humans. So we say, وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَكُمْ وَمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Allah created you and everything that you do. So part of the perfection of Tawheed is to believe that He created us and created our actions. So, a lot of the sects that fell into deviancy because of their not choosing to understand the names and attributes of Allah with the light of the Sunnah, the guidance sent down through the Messenger of Allah. And this is why the scholars say, مَنْ لَمْ يَتَوَقَّ النَّفْيَ وَالتَّشْبِيهِ لَمْ يُسْلُ التَّنْزِيهِ. Anyone who is not mindful of denying the attributes of Allah, and who is not mindful of not likening Allah to His creation, he is not likely to be correct in his attempt to want to purify and glorify the name of Allah, even if that is his intention. The Jahmis fell into deviancy out of a desire to purify the name of Allah. So they say, any attribute that is established for humans, we can't establish that for Allah. They think that's the peak of purifying the name of Allah. Others go to the other extreme. They establish the attributes. They go further by describing the details and even likening Allah in those attributes to humans, or likening humans to Allah. The scholars of the Sunnah say the ᴬᵗ-ᵀᵃᵃ恤 are people of a middle course. After establishing the names and attributes of Allah, they say for every attribute there is a common meaning shared between Allah and His creation. When Allah hears, humans also hear. But human hearing is not like His hearing. That takes care of it. So we don't need to go to either of the two extremes in our attempt to purify the names and attributes of Allah. The third aspect kí n tó máa tẹ̀síwájú, wọ́n ní kí n ṣàlàyé níwọ̀nba àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ kan pín tawhid sí lédè Yorùbá. Mo sọ ṣáájú wípé àwọn tí wọ́n kì í tiẹ̀ ṣe mùsùlùmí, àwọn náà ń pe àpòmọ́ra tawhid. Àwọn Nasara wọ́n ní mẹ́ta lọ́kan ni, àwọn náà lọ́kan lè táwọn sí. Àwọn Majus, Zoroastrians, àwọn tí wọ́n ní nǹkan méjì ló gbilẹ̀ ayé, àwọn náà padà sọ wọ́n ní ṣùgbọ́n ìkan nínú wọn náà lọ̀gá òun lórí ẹnì kejì. Àwọn náà ní táwọn náà ń sọ ibi ìkan náà ló padà sí. Àwọn Lárúbáwá àtijọ́ àtàwọn ẹlẹ́sìn kẹ́sìn tí kìí ṣe ẹ̀sìn tí Ọlọ́run bá sọ̀kalẹ̀ láti sánmọ̀, àwọn náà máa sọ pé gbogbo òòṣà táwọn náà ń sìn, ẹnìkan tó jẹ́ ọ̀gá ńlá gbogbo wọn làwọn fi ń wá sùnmọ́ lọ sódẹ̀, máa nà àbúrú ìlà ìyọ̀kọ́ gbogbo náà ìlú Zulfa. Gbogbo wọn náà ló ń pàpì mára tawhid, ṣùgbọ́n wọn àfá súnnà wọ́n ní tawhid ta kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ òjíṣẹ́ ńlá sallallahu alaihi wasallam lẹ́yìn tó fi rẹ̀lẹ̀ bó ṣe rẹ̀lẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ àwọn ẹni wọ̀nyí náà wípé àgbáńlá ayé ẹnìkan ṣoṣo ló dáa, òun náà ní sí ń pèsè fún, ẹni tó dáa tí ń pèsè fún òun làwọn ń pè ní Allah, táwọn náà ń pè ní tó bá wù wọ́n. Wọ́n ní tawhid ìpín mẹ́ta tó ní. Ìpín àkọ́kọ́ yìí mùsùlùmí nìkan kọ́ ló gbọ́ yé, àwọn ẹlẹ́bọ náà gbọ́ yé, àwọn náà gbà pẹ́ẹ́nì kan ló dàgbà ńlá ayé. Wọ́n wá ń kì wá ń lọ, wọ́n ní tawhid tẹ́lẹ́bọ ní tí ó sì yé jẹ́lẹ́bọ, tí Nasara ní tí ò yé jẹ́ kèfèrí. Ṣé wù tawhid ló lè fi lọ́kàn balẹ̀ fún àlùjánnà ní wọ́n ta bá ti lé bí wọn ni rárá. Àfi tá a bá gbàgbọ́ yé ìpín kejì àti ìpín kẹta tawhid kù. Ìpín kejì tí mo wá mẹ́nu gbàgbẹ́yìn òun náà ni pé ká ní tawhid sáwọn orúkọ àtàwọn ìròyìn Ọlọ́run. Ìtumọ̀ eléyìí ni pé Ọlọ́run kìí ṣe bí ọmọ ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan wa tá a lè sọ ní tó bá wù wá. Ó ní tó pera ẹ̀, wọ́n ní àsì ní wa sọ́nà mẹ́ta, ọ̀nà méjì náà ni. Àwọn ibi tá a ti lè ṣalábàápàdé tọ́nà ọba pẹ̀lẹ́ inú Quran àti inú súnà òjíṣẹ́ ńlá nìkan náà wọ́n ní kò pé ọ̀nà mẹ́ta. Ohun tó bá ti wá pẹ́rẹ́ òun náà ní ká bá pè é bó tiẹ̀ pé kí wọ́n fúnni nígbà láàyè pé àwọn orúkọ Ọlọ́run tó rẹwà tọ́lọ́run fi pẹ́rẹ́ a lè tú wọn sédè míì lópin ìgbà tí ìtumọ̀ wọn tí ò bá ti tako ìtumọ̀ tó jíṣẹ́ ńlá fi tú wọn fún wa bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé dèmí tó yàtọ̀ sí Lárúbáwá la fi pé àwọn orúkọ wọ̀nyí kò ní jẹ́ èèwọ̀ kò ní jẹ́ bídà. Fún àpèjúwe Ar-Rahman nínú orúkọ Ọlọ́run ọba ni ọba oníkẹ́, tá a bá pè bẹ́ẹ̀ lédè Yorùbá kò ní jẹ́ bídà. Kí nìdí tá a ṣe láti mẹ́nu bà eléyìí? Òun náà ni pé àwọn kan kó sí àdánwò látara pé àwọn náà fẹ́ ṣe tẹ̀sí, wọ́n ní àgbọ̀dọ̀ tún orúkọ Ọlọ́run, àwọn kà kún ilhad, ara ṣíṣàbòsí orúkọ Ọlọ́run ọba ní ká tú àwọn orúkọ ẹ̀. Àwọn àfáà ṣe lára ìgbé rárá ká tú ìtumọ̀ wọn kì í ṣe ilhad lópin ìgbà tó bá ti pé ohun tí wọ́n túmọ̀ sí nínú èdè yòówù tá à ń lò kò yàtọ̀ sí tí Ọlọ́run ọba ní ká gbé yẹnu súnà oníṣẹ́ ńlá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà làwọn ìròyìn ẹ̀ wọ́n ní gbogbo Ọlọ́run bá fi ròyìn ara ẹ̀ ó ṣọ̀rọ̀ yàn fún wa yí pé ká bá gbà á ní bó ṣe pè é. Àwọn gbólóhùn tó bá fi ròyìn ara ẹ̀ á fi wọ́n rinlẹ̀ fún láláyè ní já ìròyìn kúrò lára Ọlọ́run tó nípa fẹ́ ṣe àfọ̀mọ́ ẹ̀. Eléyìí ni àwọn kan tá ń pè ní àbíjà ni wọ́n kó sí. Wọ́n láwọn rò wípé tá a bá ní Ọlọ́run ọba ń gbọ́ òun rí bọ́mọ ànábì Ádámù náà ṣe ń gbọ́ táwọn náà ní àti ń fi Ọlọ́run ọba wé ẹrú ẹ̀. Àwọn a máa wá sọ pé rárá Ọlọ́run ọba kìí gbọ́ kìí rí as-Sami' al-Basir wọ́n ní àlámùn bàtàwù kọlá tún ni wọ́n jẹ́ pé ìtumọ̀ wọn o tí ó fẹ́ mú ìròyìn tí ó fẹ́ mú dání àwọn ó já ìròyìn wọ̀nyí kúrò lára Ọlọ́run káwọn náà bá kó sí fífi Ọlọ́run ọba wé ẹrú ẹ̀. Àwọn afáàsùn náà wá jẹ́ pé wọ́n pé rárá àgbọ́yé àwọn kìnnì wọ̀nyí òun náà ni pé ó ṣe pè wọ́n mọ́ra ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n jẹ́. Àlàyé báwo ni tiẹ̀ ṣe yàtọ̀ sí tọ́mọ ànábì Ádámù òun ni ò fáwọn mọ̀, kò sì ń ṣe dandan ní pé kálálàyé ẹ̀ ṣe tá a bá ti fi rinlẹ̀ fún ó ṣe pè mọ́ra ẹ̀ ìtọ́nà ọba fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ òjò bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lọ. Làákí máa bẹ̀ wá wípé a gbọ́dọ̀ jáwòyìn kúrò lára Ọlọ́run, a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe tàwíìl, a gbọ́dọ̀ tún ní tukutu tí ó wà mú túmọ̀ ìròyìn Ọlọ́run kúrò tó gbólóhùn kúrò fún rẹ̀. Láàyè kan tó pe ọwọ́ mọ́ra ẹ̀ àwọn kan láwọn fẹ́ ṣàfọ̀mọ́ Ọlọ́run, wọ́n ní kò lè lọ́wọ́ nígbà tèmi àtẹ̀yìn lọ́wọ́, wọ́n níbi tó bá ti sọ fóun lọ́wọ́ àníbà pé lọ́wọ́ àátù sí agbára ara ìlàhádì ara bídí àdé pé ìlú bá wọn ṣe léyìn. Àwọn òfin rẹ̀ bá ṣíwájú ẹ̀dá ṣe fi rẹ̀ kọ́lọ́mọ bá lọ́wọ́ ó lójú ó lẹ́sẹ̀ ní táwa fi gbọ́n náà ni pé àlàyé ni pé ìríran tọlọ́run, ìgbọ́rọ̀ tọlọ́run, ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run, ẹsẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ó yàtọ̀ sí tẹ̀dá tí ẹ ó máa jẹ́ bó ṣe bá títóbi ọlá ẹ̀rù tá a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣàlàyé ìlú ṣe yẹn lọ. Eléyìí ni tí ó ṣe pàtàkì nípa gbígbọ́ ìròyìn Ọlọ́run ọba yé táwa ó fi yàtọ̀ sí àwọn ọ̀hún táwọn náà ní àwọn nítorí wàhídì rububiyya àwọn náà gbà á lọ́ba tó dàgbà ńlá ayé tí ń sì ń pèsè fún àgbà ńlá ayé. Àwọn a máa fi nǹkan wò ó tí ó sọ̀kalẹ̀ láti sánmọ̀, àwa ò gbọ́dọ̀ fi nǹkan kan wò yẹn tí ó máa mójọ ẹ̀dá àbí ká fi nǹkan kan wò yẹn ẹ̀dá tí ó máa wá jẹ́ kan náà àwọn tí Ọlọ́run bá fi ròyìn ara ẹ̀. Kò ní pé tá a bá ló gbọ́ ó rí wọ́n ní orúkọ ló pa méjèèjì pọ̀, gbígbọ́ tiẹ̀ àti tiwa orúkọ nìkan ló bá wọn pọ̀, àlàyé gbígbọ́ tiẹ̀ ó mú yàtọ̀ sí tiwa pátápátá. Eléyìí ni àlàyé tó wà lórí àwọn ìròyìn Ọlọ́run. The third aspect of Tawheed is sorry, before I go there, it is established that the attributes of Allah are part of Allah, such that we cannot say His attributes are Allah, neither can we say His attributes are not Allah. I have explained that Allah has an essence and has attributes. His attributes and His essence are inseparable. So the scholars say, if asked whether the attributes of Allah are Allah, we neither can say yes, His attributes are Allah, nor can we say no, His attributes are not Allah. Rather, we should say His attributes and His that, His essence, are inseparable. And this is the reason that even though He forbids that we call upon any other or seek refuge with any other than Him, the Sunnah has taught us that we can use His names to appeal to Him. We can seek refuge with His attributes. We say, ᴬᵗ-ᵀᵃൃซี้ᵉᵉሔር. We seek refuge with the words of Allah, because the words of Allah are attributes of Allah. We say, ᴬᵗ-ᵀᵃᵃ€. I seek refuge with the honor of Allah. The honor of Allah is an attribute of Allah. We are allowed to swear using the Quran, because the Quran is Kalamullah, is an attribute of Allah. So they say this is because His attribute is always connected with His essence, but not that His attribute is Him or that His attribute is not Him. So anytime we think of Allah, we should think of an essence, that the details of which we don't know, and attributes which have been revealed and explained to us by the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Kátó mẹ́nu kúrò lórí àwọn ìròyìn Ọlọ́run ọba yìí, wọ́n fi kún, wọ́n ní Ọlọ́run ọba subhanahu wa ta'ala ó ní pàápàá táǹgbé ní láti, ó sì láwọn ìròyìn lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan. Àwọn afáwa kì wá ń lọ, wọ́n ní ààlè rí láti Ọlọ́run lọ́tọ̀ kí òyìn Ọlọ́run ọba ó wà lọ́tọ̀. Wọ́n ní gbogbo ìgbà tá a bá ti ń ronú kan ìròyìn Ọlọ́run, ká máa ronú kàn án wípé ìròyìn Ọlọ́run àti láti Ọlọ́run wọ́n jọ ń wà papọ̀ rẹ̀. Fún ìdí eléyìí ní Súnnà ṣe fi kọ́ ni wípé bó tiẹ̀ ṣe wọ̀ ká pé nǹkan kan yàtọ̀ sọ́lọ́run ọba, ká fi nǹkan kan búra yàtọ̀ sọ́lọ́run ọba, òjíṣẹ́ ńlá fààyè ìgbà wá, ó fi kọ́ wa wípé a lè wáṣọ lọ sínú àwọn gbólóhùn ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run, àwọn gbólóhùn Ọlọ́run, àwọn ᴬᵗ-ᵀᵃᵃ€. Nítorí pé ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run ara ìròyìn Ọlọ́run ni, a lè fi ìyè Ọlọ́run ọba wáṣọ àwọn ᴬᵗ-ᵀᵃᵃ. Wọ́n nítorí pé ìyè Ọlọ́run àti àwọn gbólóhùn Ọlọ́run gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ ara ìròyìn Ọlọ́run ní ká sì sọ wípé òun àti láti Ọlọ́run kì í yára nígbàkígbà. Now, the third aspect of Tawheed is Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah. Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah means the recognition that Allah and Allah alone deserves to be worshipped. And when we say worship, we mean giving exceeding love and exceeding hope, expectation of good from any being, exceeding fear of any being, loving, fearing, hoping for good from any being should not be directed to other than Allah the Almighty. So, worshiping Allah is a right of His which He has established in the Quran and the Sunnah, without which the two types of Tawheed are not complete. but that is recognizing that he deserves to be worshipped. Whether a person actually worships him or not is another thing. There's a difference between recognizing his right to be worshipped and actually worshipping him as commanded. So, part of the three aspects of Tawheed is to recognize, after we've acknowledged that he is the creator and sustainer, after we've established all his attributes and affirmed them the way he has established them, we must, on the third count, recognize that Allah the Almighty deserves, and he deserves alone to be worshipped by humans. Now, this means that the two foregoing types of Tawheed will be of no benefit to any individual if he does not recognize that third aspect. Some people recognize that Allah exists, so they have fulfilled Tawheed uluhiyyah. They also acknowledge that he sustains, he shows kindness and mercy to mankind. They affirm his attributes, but they say he resigned from the world after creating the world. And by resignation, they mean that he does not control things any longer. Neither does he desire that anyone do any act of worship for him. They have not brought this third aspect of Tawheed, that is recognizing that he deserves to be worshipped. They have not brought it forth. Some, on the other hand, recognize that, yes, he deserves to be worshipped, but not necessarily in a way that he dictates. And we affirm that just as he deserves to be worshipped, it must be according to his prescription. So anyone who says he recognizes the right of Allah to be worshipped, but chooses to worship him according to his own means, that person has failed in the third aspect of Tawheed, which is Tawheed al-uluhiyyah. So these three aspects of Tawheed together are the ones that differentiate Muslims from non-Muslims when taken together. Non-Muslims, they have the first aspect of Tawheed, Tawheed al-uluhiyyah. They fail in Tawheed al-asma wa sifat, and they fail in Tawheed al-uluhiyyah. If we establish these three aspects of Tawheed, what are the possible manifestations of establishing these aspects of Tawheed? Ìpín kẹta Tawheed òun ni gbígbà wípé Ọlọ́run ọba ta ló ń dàgbà ńlá ayé, ta pè ní Tawheed al-uluhiyyah, ta ló láwọn orúkọ tó pè rẹ̀ àtàwọn ìròyìn tó fún rẹ̀, ta pè ní Tawheed al-asma wa sifat. Ìpín kẹta Tawheed tí Mùsùlùmí fi yàtọ̀ sí kèfèrí òun ni gbígbà wípé Ọlọ́run ọba lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ sí ká sìn òun, ó sì gbọdọ̀ jẹ́ bọ́lọ́run ọba ṣe sọ kalẹ̀, ó ṣe là kalẹ̀ pé a gbọdọ̀ sìn òun. Nínú ẹ̀dá, àwọn kan gbà k'Ọlọ́run ọba ń bẹ, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n kùnà níbi àwọn ìròyìn ẹ̀. Àwọn kan gbà wípé ó bẹ, wọ́n sì gba àwọn ìròyìn ẹ̀ kan gbọ́, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n kùnà níbi abala kẹta Tawheed yìí. Wọ́n nígbà tó dàgbà ńlá ayé tán, kí ló fẹ́ fayé ṣe? Kóhun kọ́ ló ń darí ètò ayé wọn, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìgbà tí ẹ̀sọ́ yóò ní èṣù, Ọlọ́run bá wọ ilé ayé lọ́wọ́. Àwa ní rárá àti dáadáa tó bá yọ́nú Ọlọ́run ọba mu tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀, àti ìdàkejì ẹ̀ náà tí ò bá yọ́nú Ọlọ́run ọba mu, ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ìfẹ́ ẹ̀ mu nípa pé ó wu Ọlọ́run kó máa ṣẹlẹ̀, àti kíní àti kejì ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú náà sí Ọlọ́run ọba ni. Ọlọ́run ò táyà kúrò nílé ayé. So Tawheed ìpín kẹta yìí àwọn tá à ń sọ yìí wọ́n kù wọ́n bẹ̀ wọ́n lọ́wọ́ wọn bọ̀ òkú káàtà sí pé kẹ́nikẹ́ni ó sì òun ó kẹ̀kẹ́ pé àwọn obìnrin rẹ̀ kó dálé ayé ó sì láwọn ìròyìn tó fi ròyìn ara ẹ̀. Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah wọ́n ní a ní láti fi ìpín kẹta yẹn rẹ̀ pé òun náà lòun ó láwọn ìròyìn ẹ̀ ó sì lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ pé ká sì í gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe wù ú pé ká sì òun tá a lè rí àgbọ́yé ẹ̀mí kíbi ju bẹ́ni tí Ọlọ́run bá rán sí wa bó ṣe jẹ́ iṣẹ́ fún wa lọ. ṣe wá rí ìpín kejì àti ìpín kẹta yìí òun ni tí à ń bẹ Ọlọ́run ọba pé àwa tí wọ́n bí sínú Islam kọ́lọ́run ọba ó jọ kó má jẹ́ ká kùnà ń bẹ̀. kèfèrí gan ti mórí bọ́ níbi kíkùnà níbi ìgbékìlẹ̀ nígbà tí kèfèrí náà ti láwọn gbàgbọ́ náà wà ló dárí ayé kò fẹ́ sẹ́nìkan tí ó gbà yẹn kálukú ló wọ́n ní bọ́nú ìpín kìíní. ìpín kejì fífi tọ́lọ́run bá ròyìn ara ẹ̀ nìkan rò ó àti pípẹ́ ní tó pera ẹ̀ nìkan òun ni tó kù níṣẹ́. àti ìpín kẹta wípé a sìn ṣùgbọ́n báwo la ṣe sìn kò gbọ́dọ̀ yapa sí bó ṣe sọ kalẹ̀ pé ká sí òun. ìgbàgbọ́ wípé ó lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ pé ká sí òun yìí àwọn àfáàní òun ni tauhid al-uluhiyya ìpín kẹta tauhid. mo wá ṣe láàyè mo ní ọ̀tọ̀ ní gbígbà wípé Ọlọ́run ọba lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ pé ká sí òun táwọn àfáà fi ṣe ṣẹ́ọ̀t wọ́n fi ṣe tauhid abala kẹta. ọ̀tọ̀ wá ní pé kẹrù wá sí yóò fẹ́ mú wa lọ síbi mẹ́sàlá kan táwọn àfáà ń pè ní jinsul amal wípé ṣé tẹ̀dá bá gbà pé Ọlọ́run bá ń bẹ tó fi àwọn ìròyìn ẹ̀ rò ó tó sì gbà wípé Ọlọ́run ọba lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ sí ká sìn ṣùgbọ́n tí ò sí rárá ṣé mùsùlùmí ni àbí kèfèrí? èyí tó pọ̀ nínú àwọn àfáà wọ́n ní tó bá gbà tó ń bẹ tó fi ìròyìn ẹ̀ rinlẹ̀ tó sì gbà kó lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ sí ìjọsìn tí ò wá mú ìjọsìn kankan wá ní gbogbo àkókò tó lò lókè ìyẹ̀pẹ̀ ajẹ́gbé abala kẹta tó ń tọ̀ ń sọ fóun fi rẹ̀ fọ́lọ́run yẹn ó wà questionable. wọ́n ní ìbéèrè wà lórí ẹ̀ pé ṣé lóòótọ́ ló gbà wípé ìjọsìn tọ́sọ́lọ́run. èyí tó pọ̀ nínú àwọn àfáà wọ́n ní ẹni tí ò bá sin Ọlọ́run ọba rárá tòun ti kó gbà ìkọlọ́run ọba lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ sí ká sí òun wọn ló kùnà níbi tauhid al-uluhiyya. àwọn kan nínú àwọn àfáà wọn wá yan wọn ní tó bá fi rinlẹ̀ ìkọlọ́run ọba lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ sí pé ká sí òun kò lòdì sí kò ṣe nǹkan àwẹ̀ gbogbo tọ́nà ọba sọ̀kalẹ̀ lòun náà fi rinlẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àárẹ̀ ọkàn ṣe ọ̀lẹ́ ṣe ohun tó lè wù kó ṣe kò wá mú jọ́sìn wá tó lè jẹ́rìí sí ti ń bẹ nígbà yẹ. àwọn kan nínú àwọn àfa wọ́n ní ó sọ nǹkan kan nù tá à ń pè ní shartu kamali tawhid kì í ṣe shartu sihhati tawhid. wọ́n ló sọ májẹ̀mú tí tawhid fi máa pé kò sọnù ṣùgbọ́n kò sọ májẹ̀mú tí tawhid máa fi jẹ́ mínímọ̀mù tọ́lọ́mọ bá lè gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹrú kò sọ yẹn. ìpín kìíní kejì àwọn àfáà náà ni wọ́n rí wí. fábèjúwe èyí tó pọ̀ náà àwọn àfáà ṣáájú wọ́n lẹ́ni tó bá ti gbé ojú sílẹ̀ tí ò kí kèfèrí ni. so àwọn máa mú ẹ̀rí ìyẹn wá wípé ẹni tí ò ṣiṣẹ́ rí gbogbo ìmáànì tó lè sọ fún wà lẹ́nu ìròyìn àwọn ògbà yìí tó fi tauhid al-uluhiyya àwọn ògbà tó fi rẹ̀. nínú àwọn àfáà tí wọ́n ní rárá shartu kamal májẹ̀mú tí ìmáànì fi máa gbé tí tòun fi máa gbé nìkan ló ń tọ̀ ń sọnù. àwọn kan tọ́ka sí hadith òjíṣẹ́ ńlá nìkan òjò kan tó ń jọ tí ń sọ wípé àwọn ẹrú kan wọn ò ríṣẹ́ kankan níwájú ìmáànì ti bẹ ní ìgbà àyà wọn lọ. nínú ẹ̀yẹ hadithi pé akhruju man kana fi qalbihi mithqalu dharratin min iman hadith yìí kò púpọ̀ àwọn àwọn Bukhari àti Muslim ìpínlẹ̀ ìtọ́ àlùjánnà bá wà àlùjánnà náà ọlọ́run ó bá gbogbo wa ìgbogbo ọlọ́run ìsọ́lọ́mà àlùjánnà yóò bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ àwa náà ó máa sọ pé ọlọ́run ọba wa àwọn ẹ̀dá kan wà ń gbàtà wà nílé ayé àjọ máa kírun ni àjọ máa gbààwẹ̀ ni kó làjọ ṣe hajj ni àárín wọn láti tẹ̀ náà èyí ti rí ọlọ́run wà á sọ fún wa wípé ká ṣe ṣẹ̀fáà fún wọn ìyẹn ni pé ká ṣì bẹ̀ wọn kó gbàgbẹ́ wa nípa apá ti bèèrè wọn yìí ká lọ kó wọn wá nínú ọ̀nà Jahannama tọrọ wọn hàn sí hadith yìí wá ní tá a bá wá lọ ká bọ̀ lẹ́yìn tá a bá dé tọ́lọ̀ ti ní akhriju man fi qalbihi mithqalu dinar min khayr ẹni tẹ́ bá rí tawhid tó ṣe déédéé dinar bíi pọ́ǹkan ẹni ẹ bá bá tawhid tó ṣe déédéé pọ́ǹkan nígbà yẹ nínú ọmọ náà nínú àwọn tẹ́yìn mọ̀ ẹ̀mú ọjà ìlú òun náà ó ń fi yé wa yí pé ìmájá ó fi yé wa wípé èèyàn jẹ́ mùsùlùmí ó kú lórí Islam kò ní kọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀ má kàn kù sí náà o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni aljanna ọlọ́run ọba ṣe léèwọ̀ fẹ́ni tí ò bá ní minimum tawhid tó kéré jù tó wọn ọlọ́run fẹ́ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló ṣe náà gbére léèwọ̀ fún gbogbo ẹni tó bá ní minimum tawhid ìtumọ̀ eléyìí òun ni pé táwọn ẹ̀dá kan bá wà ìjẹ́nà ní straight tí wọn ò bá wọn tọ́nà wò kọ́nà má ṣàkàwọn mú táwọn kan wọná straight tí náà tí wọ́n tún wá jẹ́ náà gbére nípa pé minimum tawhid sí nígbà àyà wọn àwọn ẹ̀dá kan wà táwọn ó kọ̀ọ̀kan lọ sínú náà kí náà yọ òwúrọ̀ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wọn kọ́nà tó wá ṣàwọn ọkọ̀ máa bọ̀ ní àjẹ́nà àwọn ní hadith ń tọ́ka sí pé tí wọ́n bá wá kó wọn dé àwọn onígbàgbọ́ òdodo máa wá sọ fún ọlọ́run báyìí pé ìwọ ọlọ́run àwọn tó ní ká kó wá àti kó wọn dé o ọlọ́run ó tún wá pàṣẹ wípé kí wọ́n tún padà gbogbo ẹni tí wọ́n bá yí máàlù tí ò ju ọmọ náà kó lọ bí kọ́ọ̀lù gẹ́gẹ́ ìmá nígbà ayẹ kí wọ́n máa yọ́bọ̀ wá sí ọgbà ìjọba àjẹ́nà àwọn afá kọ̀ọ̀kan wá ṣàlàyé wọ́n ní hadithi wà tó fi yé wa pé níkẹyìn ayé àwọn ẹrú ọlọ́run kò ṣẹ́kù ní ayé gbogbo ń ká wọn ìbádà lẹ́nu tó fi mọ́ ìrù kíkí gan kò ní sí orípa ẹ̀wọ̀n ju pé wọ́n ní agbọ́tàn bàbá wa máa ń sọ pé la ilaha illallah àwa náà sì gbàgbọ́ hadith yìí Sheikh Nasiruddin Albani ó fi rẹ̀ kó sọ̀kè kódà ó fi ṣe ẹ̀ lórí pé iṣẹ́ o ṣẹ́kù kàmáàlù májẹ̀mú pípé ìmánì ni kò ní túmọ̀ sí pé àwọn náà ń sọ ńgbà yìí tí ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀ ọ́n dèpòdépò pé wọ́n kí kò ní túmọ̀ sí pé wọn ò kú lórí Islam ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tá a fà ń sọ ó yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan táwọn kan ń sọ tó ń pè ní múrjíà àwọn múrjíà àwọn ní tí wọn bá ti gba ọlọ́run ọba gbọ́ tọ̀hídù rùbíyà tó gba ìròyìn ẹ̀gbọ́ tọ̀hídù rùbíyà wọ́n ní láàyè gbogbo máa di máa lè ṣe yìí gbogbo iṣẹ́ tó léwu kéèyàn ó ṣe níṣẹ́ ẹbí wọ́n ní kò fọ́ ọba yìí máa yẹ ṣẹ́gbọ́yé àwọn àfa Ahlus Sunnah wal Jamā'ah wọ́n fi rẹ̀ pé rárá al-amal min al-īmān iṣẹ́ ara ìmánì ni iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ a máa lékún tí ìmánì ló máa lékún iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ a máa dínkù tí ìmánì ló máa dínkù so àwọn àfáà yìí ò sọ wípé iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ sínú ìmánì ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní nínú tí ń pé ìmánì ni wọ́n ní kì í ṣe ṣẹ́kù sẹ́hà tí ó máa túmọ̀ sí pé ẹ̀wù tó bá mú lá ilaha illallah lódìdí níwájú ọlọ́run tó jẹ́ déédéé kọ́lù lára yìí tó jẹ́ déédéé ìmánì àwọn karíwó kẹ́yìn ayé yìí tí ò tí ẹ̀ máa tún ń pè náà wọn kò ní túmọ̀ sí pé wọ́n kúkú kèfèrí nípa báyìí tí a bá ti wá gbọ́yé wípé àwọn abala tawhid mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta yìí pípé wọn náà lèèyàn fi ń jẹ́ mùsùlùmí tó yanjú, àwa fẹ́ wò kí làwọn manifestation, what are the manifestations of pure tawhid as described by the messenger of Allah. Now, ìkíní nínú àwọn first among the fruits and benefits of Tawheed is that it is the minimum requirement for admitting anyone into paradise. Òun ni tó kéré jù nínú tọ́lọ́run fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹrú tí ó wọ àlùjánnà, Tawheed. Now, Allah says, "Inna Allaha la yaghfiru an yushraka bihi wa yaghfiru ma duna dhalik liman yasha." Whether he did much good or a little good, it is for Allah. But Allah will not forgive anyone who dies upon shirk. The scholars understand this to be the major shirk. Shirk of the type that casts one out of Islam. So the first benefit of Tawheed is that the one who dies upon it is given the guarantee of being an inmate of Al-Jannah. وَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ قَبْلَ ذَلِكَ مَا أَصَابَهُ. Whatever may happen to him before that, he will ultimately end up in paradise. The reason you and I must strive to be strictly upon the Sunnah, to establish worship only according to the Sunnah, is that innovation into the deen is one of the most heinous sins in the sight of Allah. So we must distance ourselves from all kinds of innovation. Now, so benefit number one is the guarantee of Al-Jannah. Benefit number two, Tawheed is the only basis for any reward for good deeds in the hereafter. In this world, when a kafir does good deeds, there's a clear text where the Messenger of Allah says Allah compensates him here before he dies. But reserving rewards for the hereafter is exclusively for people who die upon Tawheed. So however kind, however good a person is in his dealings with others and his dealings towards Allah, he doesn't earn any reward for it in the hereafter unless he is upon Tawheed. To even illustrate the role Tawheed plays even in the relative ibadah among Muslims, the scholars